Mabu, hi. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. My channel is about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. You can see I got this shirt in the Philippines. We've been married since 2015, and the relationship with the Filipino is not a given. It's not easier. People go to the Philippines all the time. They still do, thinking that it's easier to find a wife, and maybe it's easier to find somebody that will marry you. I don't know if it's easier to stay married. And one of the things you need to do when you're in a relationship with a Filipino or any woman is not be afraid to talk about things that are uncomfortable. You cannot stop being honest just to try to keep the peace. So you must be honest. This is a second point from an article from Forbes.com from Mark Travers. It's about things to be honest about in relationship. The first one he talked about was if you're upset with them, and the need to, in a relationship that's romantic, to not bottle up certain uncomfortable thoughts, because that can do more harm than good. So last time, if you're upset with them, this time, another one that would apply to a foreigner and Filipina in a very long distance relationship like I had with my wife was if you're feeling in need of reassurance. If you're feeling in need of reassurance, you should be comfortable enough and strong enough to talk about that. Maybe some of you feel that way right now in a dating relationship, maybe long distance dating relationship, or you're married and you just, you feel like you need some assurance that everything is good. From the article, everyone has moments when they crave a little extra love and reassurance. That's true. Whether it's needing to hear that you're still loved, appreciated, or desired, seeking validation is a normal part of any relationship. Yet, many people hold back out of fear, seeming needy, clingy, or insecure. Asking questions like, do you still love me? Or am I still attractive to you? Can feel awkward and vulnerable, but this need for reassurance is far from embarrassing. Seeking reassurance is not a sign of weakness, he says, Mark Travers. In fact, it can actually be a healthy and important aspect of relationship maintenance. And there was a 2021 study from the Japanese Psychological Association found that seeking reassurance plays a significant role in maintaining both partners' emotional connection and relationship satisfaction. So it's a good thing. For both long-term and short-term relationships, reassurance-seeking behaviors were linked to increased relationship satisfaction and maintenance behaviors. In simpler terms, expressing your need for reassurance can result in the desired effect, as well as bring you closer together. When you ask for validation, you're giving your partner the opportunity to meet your emotional needs and show their care in a tangible way. This can result in more frequent gestures of love, affection, and support, which in turn benefits both partners and the relationship itself. Conversely, bottling up your insecurities can leave you feeling lonely and resentful. If your partner doesn't know you're struggling with insecurities, they won't have a chance to reassure you. Over time, these unspoken feelings can grow and you'll only feel more isolated. Instead of allowing those negative thoughts to spiral, it's worth being open about your emotional needs, no matter how vulnerable it may feel. So I hope you can relate to this. Please leave a comment if you can, and subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I'm probably the only channel out there that's just about relationship angle with a woman from the Philippines. And the things I talk about would help with any relationship. It's just that I married a woman from overseas, almost 10,000 miles away. We got married in less than 8 weeks. That was back in 2015. And there are times, in a relationship like this where you might even go into it with some self-doubt that this woman from the Philippines is with you for the right reasons. You might wonder if what she's telling you can be believed. So whether it's at the very start or after you've been married, if you've kind of settled in and kind of get a routine going, if you feel that something's not right and you need some validation and some reassurance, I agree 1,000% with this article from Mark Travers. That's what you have to do. I would add that you shouldn't do it with criticism. I mean, if you feel like you'd like to see more display of love, don't hammer her and say, well, you don't love me, you never loved me, you lied to me from the start. Something like that is only going to, cause her to do the opposite of what you want. You just have to say, look, we've gotten in this routine and it's not what it used to be. I don't really feel like I'm as important to you as I might have been. Am I wrong? Is it just my perception? But help me understand that. But for sure, maybe you feel like your love language isn't being spoken. Well, bring that up in as polite and mature and tactful way as you can, because, your wife, Filipino wife, I mean, she might think everything is fine. If you don't speak up, what else can she conclude? That everything, is fine. And if she asks you the same thing, do you really love me? Don't get upset. Just like you wouldn't want her to get upset. If she needs validation and reassurance, it's just something that needs to be talked about. It's really a good thing. I suppose it can be uncomfortable. I've never had trouble saying, look, I feel like, my love language isn't getting spoken here. Some needs aren't, met like they used to. This is every marriage. You get into a rut, you get busy, you don't see each other as much as you did before or as much as you want to. You're not, going out on dates, and the relationship can get stale. And you just have to talk about these things. Sure, they're uncomfortable. And sometimes being honest, yes, can cause some uncomfortable moments. So what? So what? It's going to get a lot more uncomfortable if you don't bring these things up. I'd like to hear what you think about this. If you've been in a long-term relationship with a Filipina or you're married to one, I'd be surprised if there weren't times when you felt like you needed some reassurance. Maybe she has asked for reassurance. So I know it's a sensitive topic, but marriage is a sensitive relationship. It's the greatest thing in the world. And I do think that, as I've said before many times, in my 1,900 or so videos on YouTube, the man is the leader. He's got to keep his finger on the pulse of the relationship. And if he feels that something isn't right, he's got to bring it up, talk about it in a mature way to get the best outcome. So let me know what you think by leaving a comment here on Love Beyond the Sea.